Welcome to Artists on the Air. I'm your host, Ann J. White, and today we are looking at the art and artistry of acting, commercials, movie videos, and award-winning films. My guest is the amazing Mama Char, who started her journey after the passing of her beloved husband. At age 65, she packed up her car, drove to Hollywood. There she lived in that car, doing various gigs, culminating as a leading actor in a feature film. Let's get this party started. I'm so excited because I have never met this friend of mine, and we have been friends for well over a decade, and today's the day we're sort of meeting. We're on Zoom. I'd like to introduce you to the incredible, inspirational Mama Char. Thank you for being here.
Oh, and it is such my honor. And I say that with all sincerity. And you're right. After over a decade, this is our first time a meeting. And it did take me a pause when we were doing our check before when you said, good to meet you. And it's like, I haven't met you before because we're so connected. So it's truly my honor. And hi, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm Mama Char.
We are interviewing an actress, a well-known actress. And what happens? She's in her car on the way to a gig. So this is the life of an actress, and we're going to be looking at the life of an actress. There she is. Where are you at? Hollywood somewhere?
That's it. I'm in Hollywood. I'm in North Hollywood.
There we go. So when you interview an actress, this is her studio. She's on her way to work. That's pretty cool. So, Mama Char, where I want to start the interview, and this is where you really cemented my knowledge or my following you, is there was a picture on Facebook of your car packed, and you were about ready to get in that car, to live in that car, and to drive to California. Tell me about how you felt even just beginning that whole chapter of your life, because you had another successful chapter. This is the next one. Tell me how you felt.
Well, I have to give you a little Reader's Digest backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Married 42 years, and I had been widowed at this point almost 5 years. And I had decided that I needed to come to Hollywood to write a film based on a bucket list my late husband had left for me to do. As you're aware, we're connected through books, right? We're both authors. But this, in my heart, I had to come to Hollywood. So on April 2nd, 2016, I decided I was going to give everything away and go to Hollywood where they make movies and I would learn. So I did, and I gave everything away. I did have a couple of 25-cent garage sales. Everything was 25 cents, 5 maximum, you walk away. And I purged everything from 42 years of marriage and packed up my SUV, and I came to Hollywood. And never in my wildest imagination did I ever think I would be in front of the camera. But as we know, our journeys sometimes take a twist. So met a young boy, 22 years old, who told me, he calls me MC from Mama Char.
And his name is Austin, but I don't know his last name. I think we should give him a good shout.
Austin Lane Walker. You'll see him. He's going to be very famous one day. He is such a talented kid. And so 22 years old, and he says, MC, you need to become a background actor. That way you can learn about TV and filmmaking. And I thought, well, that's cool. So I go down, and here in Hollywood, we have a casting company called Central Casting, and they're the biggest. They cast all the background for the network TV, right? So I go down and I do my bit, and pretty soon, pre-COVID, I find myself being reoccurring on 4 shows.
Yes.
This Is Us, Veep, Scandal, and Young Sheldon.
And I want to talk to you about that, but I want to get some, I think I'm going to show some film of you as a background actress or some photos. So I'm going to go to the share screen. Okay, can you see this picture I have on my screen right now, Mama Char?
Let me. Oh, yes. This Is Us. Oh, yes. This Is Us, when they were renewing their vows.
And there you are in all your glamour. There's the beautiful back of your head.
I'm going to tell you, and there's even something that is more heartbreaking and than just seeing the back of my head. There was a scene where there was a dance floor and music, right? And you know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dancer. This is us. So it's very melancholy and they're dancing. And so my partner and I, which was an older black lady, our cue was when you hear this part of the song come up, we want you to cross across just to make motion. That's what background is for, blurred and unheard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we busted down when we got out of frame. They're playing Bruno Mars. So we start dancing off frame, right? And then they cut and the producer says, "Oh, we want you to do that again." And it's like, yes, we're going to be on This Is Us dancing. And they cut the entire scene.
And this is you.
Right. This is me.
Oh, let's see. I've got another one. Okay, I was a fan of Young Sheldon,
That's
and our
it.
watch viewers can take a look, and there she is.
Well, and that's me, Ann, with the red hair. That's what I came to Hollywood with, was that red hair. 30 years of box dyed red hair. So you can imagine what colors it was, right?
Yeah.
But that's actually my hair is what got me into Hollywood, got me in the door.
Was that church lady hair at that point?
That's it.
Okay.
And you know, Young Sheldon is based um, in the 70s in Texas.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, with that Texas hair, and I have to tell you, I learned a long time ago the fan gets me a lot of places. I carry a fan with me, and everybody knows in a Texas church, you're going to be fanning yourself in the back. So that's what got me moved up on Young Sheldon. Is one day I showed up as background, nobody special, and I'm just sitting there fanning, and they say, "Hey, what's your name?" And it's like Mama Char, and they said, "Come up here." And so every time you will see me by Young Sheldon, you will see me by Julia Louis Dreyfus and Veep. Don't know why. She's much shorter than I am, but they put us right there together. Molly Shannon, they put me right next. Niles Horan, they put me right next to them. Don't know why.
Now, this is not, is this background? Is this considered background or is this
It
actually character?
is. Oh, but the story behind this, Anne, was just like epic. Okay, we're booked as a now you look at these three characters: the patient, the doctor, and the nurse, right? So this is like 25 background. We're going to all show up at this hospital scene, right? Now you have to know in Hollywood, they book 3 or 4 scenes every day. They don't book just this cop scene, right? So we get there and we get an email the night before and say, "Hey, they want to do a short scene with a doctor, a nurse, and a patient. Are you available?" It's like, heck yeah. I go in early. We get there, and the producer says, "Oh, so you're my cops." And it's like, "No, I'm 70. I'm not a cop." And he's like, "Well, you are today." So, and they made me a pistol packing mama. I even got the rubber gun on the belt. And I want you to know, you want to talk about feeling feisty when you're walking around and you feel that weight on your hips and you know it's authority.
Still going. Here he is.
Oh, yes. Okay. This is Sir Earl Toon of Kids in a Gang. Celebrate good times. Come on. And he wrote, well, backstory. I played the lead role in #Bless the movie as the grandma. And Sir Earl Toon wrote a song that was in the movie. And so this is a picture of he and I, I'm going to try not to cry, at a autograph session for #Blessed. I never ever dreamed I would be signing autographs, much less sitting next to celebrity. Never.
And we are going to be talking, I guess this is a good segue. #Bliss. You are a lead actress in this full feature, full film. Tell us about, in fact, let me unshare because I want to get you here for to tell us about #Bliss. Then we'll go back and see some photos from it. Bless it. Oh, I said #Bliss. You know, that kind of works, doesn't it? But it's
yeah,
Bless.
#Blessed.
Which was
Blessed
blissful.
is Yeah, it is. I'm gonna tell you, it is a great little film, and it's not religious. It doesn't. It sounds like using the word blessed that it would be a Christian film,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. There's no mention of religion, politics, nothing like that. It's a film for everyone, and it's about social media influence on today's youth and how it impacts them. And it's coupled with that, along with it's a grandmother raising her granddaughter. So obviously there's death. There's a reason why it's just the two of them. It talks about the weights of the youth of today. And Grandma Maribel is just the life of the party. She's a Christmas cookie making woman. And she just, I don't know. She's the pinnacle of this young girl's life and the connection they have. But I have to tell you, and it's my first lead role, and I did not want this. I went kicking and screaming, saying, I'm not an actor. I'm not an actor. But the writer's mother had met me when I was a production assistant at her house. I wasn't acting, I was behind the camera, but she saw in me what she needed in that role. And it was a glove. I mean, it would just fit for me. It
It
truly
did.
was.
It
But
did. I saw it.
yeah, truly. And I was so blessed. And my co-star, it was a Disney princess. You know, she'd been acting for 14 years, and this was my very first role. So I leaned on her, and Isabel is just a beautiful soul. Just so, I mean, I was so blessed. And I have to say, hashtag blessed. Blessed was my word. I mean, I've used blessed for decades, right?
Mm-hmm.
I appeared in hashtag blessed. But Anne, I also appeared in Glorilla's music video, hashtag blessed. And I was a totally different grandma. I stole money from the church to buy weed, not make Christmas cookies. So it's like, yeah, hashtag blessed.
It won awards too, didn't it?
Oh, it did. Hashtag
Yeah.
blessed won People's Choice Awards. The author, the writer, just swept nationwide and a couple of countries. She took awards for hashtag blessed.
So this then was where I was going to bring you into your hashtag blessed. There is Mama Char. And who's your family you're with?
Okay, let's see. Okay, these are my neighbors across the way. All right, and he is my biggest fan. And my granddaughter is to my left there, but they are my neighbors across the street, and they play a monumental role in the movie. So this is actually a scene where they convince us to do a cookbook. And you have to know my granddaughter is finally coming around to enjoying me too. So yeah, this is a great scene from the movie.
Okay, and then I had this picture.
Oh, now this is Mr. Thomas out of San Diego, and he was my husband in the movie, and very cordial, nice gentleman. And he's a singer songwriter.
When you got in that car and started driving across the country to write your screenplay or your film, did you think you would be in an award-winning film? Hashtag blessed.
No, no, I'm, and I'm still trying to process this whole thing. You're a natural. See, these are gifts that I had that I didn't know I had. I didn't even play dress up as a child.
Mm.
Not my thing to be fake. Not my thing to be fake. And now here I am. And you have to know, I did all of this at 65. I arrived here in May of 2016, and I turned 65 August of 2016. So it's like, it ain't a bad gig. But I have to tell you, and what makes me successful in Hollywood is my authenticity. Hollywood is fake. We all know it's fake. It's not
Mm-hmm.
glamorous. You see the glamour, but it's truly behind the camera. It's not glamorous.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they don't know what to do with me. I, I walk in, and what you are getting is what they're going to get on set
Mm-hmm.
today. They're going to tell me what they need from me. And if it's an old, nosy, rosy neighbor, I'm not one, but girl, have I had my fair share of them, right? I can be an old, nosy, rosy neighbor. How hard
And
is that?
here you
Okay,
go. Now
that's
we
it.
said glamour of Hollywood. This is Mama Char.
This is it. And in this scene, I am bludgeoning my grandson to death with my oxygen tank. And by the way, my grandson is Austin Lane Walker in this scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. And what was this from? Was this from a
This is a student film. This was
mhm.
a state of Ohio student film that came into Hollywood to enter a competition. And so they put a casting call out and they wanted a demonic grandma. Now, I just told you about Grandma Maribel and hashtag blessed, how sweet she was. And I have to tell you, Anne, this character was as comfortable to me as Grandma Maribel and hashtag blessed.
Now this probably wasn't hard. You did music videos, quite a
I do.
few.
I
So
do.
here's you in a music video.
All blondes, blonde. So I represent her as an older her, right? As the
Hmm.
older artist. The little girl that I picked danced in this one, but it was a fun gig. It
How
was.
many music videos have you been in?
Dozens and dozens,
Isn't
and
that
I wouldn't
fun?
even know where to. And I've worked with no names, and I've worked with big names, and I have contracts from Beyonce where she hired Mama Char, to be background in her video. Snoop Dogg, Glorilla, Harry Styles hired me to do his fingernail polish. Um, I'm just so blessed. I truly
Oh,
am.
that is great. And again, there are commercials. This was a commercial I saw you in.
This was a great DNA kind of testing commercial. I found out I was part Chinese.
Well,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
right. It's like
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that one, but yeah, I do commercials.
My next question is the day in the life of an actor. And I don't know if you are typical, like we're not going to be talking about Julia Roberts or something here, but how is the day in the life of you as an actor? Because there's no 2 days the same, I'm sure.
Okay, here's the deal. There's so many phases of being an actor and making it successful in Hollywood. Number one are the casting calls. I probably apply to 20 to 30 roles per day. That's not average actor stuff. That's why I'm successful because I'm throwing a lot up against the wall and I'm catching a few that stick, right? So first of all, the hustle. So when I go on set, even like America's Got Talent, right? I made sure I met as many behind that camera because I knew those four judges in front of that camera, they're not taking me anywhere. They're not going to help me. But Terry Crews and his guys behind there, they're going to remember Mama Char, right? So I connect. So I get casting calls, text if I'm available, and I say yes. I work for free and I've worked for $5,000. So in Hollywood, you have to be available. It's all about I scratch your back, you scratch who you know. So I never say no. Right? If I'm available, I'm going to do it. Now I do have two boundaries that I make very clear. I don't worship Satan and I don't get naked. One is for you and one is for me. But also, the biggest thing is want what's best for the production. Don't go in thinking you're the answer to make this the winner because you're not. You go on set and that commercial that I did the other day, and I can't mention her name, but it had 40 crew member. That's 40 people in black t-shirts walking around making this happen, and there were 13 representatives from the customer. So this is what you're scrutinized. You're standing there and they're looking at you. They've already seen every pore on your face. So truly, it's about hustle, networking, and bringing what you've got to the set.
And the thing
Complacency.
that exudes from you too is you are passionate about what you do. You don't do it halfway. Have you always, I guess you've probably always been passionate about
Always,
life.
you know. Well, raised in a foster home with 13 boys and 2 girls in the South in the 50s and the 60s. I don't know how much of my tenacity and strength is a gift. I mean, as you and I were talking, we're Leos, we're lioness, right? And how much is just, like survival traits that you learn being in a male dominant Southern family, right?
Hmm.
So it's like, I'm a very strong personality, but I'm an empath. I'm very compassionate also. So it's like, you just confidence. People don't see their confidence. They don't. They let it stump them. They let their lack of what they realize that they can do in society. If I could say anything to anybody, I don't care how old you are, you don't have to wait till you're 35 to become who you're supposed to become. But where you are tomorrow does not have to be where you are today unless you want it to be. And it doesn't have to be packing up and coming to California at 65. It can be a baby step.
And bam, just like that, we got disconnected. So I guess that's the end of this program. We didn't get to wrap it up, but you get a good idea who Mama Char is. Thank you very much. And Jane White, artist on the air. See you next time.